Okay. So yesterday we have seen the process builders and call the flows from the process builders, auto launched flows we have seen, but still there are a couple of types of flows like calling from the platform events and trigger from the record updates and others. So just try them. Otherwise, we'll see that later. Today we are going to discuss about the approval process. What is an approval process? Let's say everything, if you see any kind of business, there will be some kind of approvals from managers and supervisors, something like this. Let's say you have visited uh, any one of the shop. So there should be something like the products will be there. Products will be there, and then there will be having some discount. So the discount may be applied or not. Okay. So there will be some kind of levels. Product, usual product will be there. So once you bought the product, salesperson will sell it, right? If you ask for more discount, he will say that you are getting so this product cost is something 3,000 or something 3,000. Now you will get something like 5%. Okay, 5% of offer. Now what it is, you have asked for giving the you have asked for a 20% discount. No. So you have asked for 20% discount, or let's say 10% discount. Okay. 10% discount will be applied if the if the sales manager approves. So what he will do? Salesperson will ask for the manager, right? Sales supervisor, or let's say, yeah, we can say that sales supervisor will ask for approval. So if sales approve, supervisor says that, oh, okay, give the 10% discount. Then what he will is, so he'll give the 10% of discount for you. Otherwise, if you have 20% discount, let's say, then he will say that sales manager has to approve, right? So this is called approval process. Means for each and every step. So let's say here, product you are buying. This is the initial step. Then discount is the first 5% discount is the first step, right? Step one is done. Means if it is approved, you will get it. So if we say that no, sir, we don't have any discount, then what you will do? You will not ask for any discount. So it may be you may buy the product or you may reject the product and you will leave. Okay. So this is called approval process. Here, if you see this, so finally you might get some actions, right? Final. See, initial action is there. Initial action is you have decided to buy a product. Then step one action, there will be approve or reject. You will say that yes, we are giving. Yeah, no, we are not giving. These two options are there. Step two also will be this yes or no. Step three also yes or no. Okay, approve or reject. So in that case, and finally one action should come out, right? Say if second person, step two, when sales supervisor is says that no, we do not have the discount, then finally what you will do, the final action is you may buy it or you may reject it. That's it, right? So initially there will be in approval process mostly what it will be initial actions. Okay. Initial submission actions means when you select the product and ask for a submit, ask for some discount, initial submission actions. Okay. Second one, step approval actions, right? Step one, approve or reject means approval actions will be there. Okay. Step three, okay. For each and every step, there is yes or no means approval actions will be there, rejection actions also will be. Okay. What happens if they have approved it? What happens if they have rejected it? Okay. Now, see, then finally actions will be there, right? Finally, if you want to buy, you can buy it or you can reject it. Final approval actions. Fifth one, final rejection actions. So these are the actions you can perform through the approval process. Means initial submission actions, step approval actions, step rejection options, and then final approval actions and final rejection actions. Okay. So then what are these actions? Listen carefully, later you can write. First, what are the actions? Here we are saying that actions. What are those actions? So these actions are nothing but the whatever the actions you are performing through the workflow, all those actions are considered as the actions for the same approval process as well, like email alert, second one field update, third one task creation, fourth one outbound message. Okay, so these actions, all these type of actions can be performed in initial submission actions, approval actions, rejection actions, final approval actions, final rejection actions. Okay, so at any cost, first thing is initial, when you submit a record for approval, then initial submission actions will be performed. Then on the step one or step two, whatever the step you are doing, approval actions will be done if it is approved. Rejection actions will be done. These will be common for each and every step. Two and third steps will be, these actions will be common for each and every step. Then finally, only once this final approval actions, final rejection actions can be performed. Okay. Initial submission actions can be done only once when you submit a record for approval. Finally approved actions, finally rejection actions can be performed only when the final record approval or final record rejection. Then approval action, rejection actions can be performed on each and every step. Okay. So we have two type of approval processes. Okay. Single step and multi-step approval. Nothing else on this. Means if it is only having only one step, that is called single step and multi-step. If it is having more than one step for mean, if you need approval from more than one user, then you can say this multi-step approval process. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create one small approval process. So here, my requirement is, okay, we have student, right? So student fee, normally student fee, is that right? If student fee is that, let's see first initial step actions, I mean single step action, single step approval process. If student fee is less than 10,000, okay, then need an approval from manager. Okay, this is one requirement. Now, what will be the initial step actions? Send an email to the manager on record submit for approval. second one. So change the status to student status should be changed. Changed to under approval. Okay. Next, third one. Okay. So this is the on submit what you have to do. Okay. So here on approval, status should be changed to change status to approve. Okay. Second one, send email to the student. Okay. On rejection means what you have to do, post that. Send email to the student by saying it is rejected. Change status to rejected. Okay, this is the requirement. Okay, this is one step approval process. Later we'll see how to do this. Okay, now let's go and create the approval process on student record. Approval process. Mostly by next year in 2022, approval process, sorry, the process builders and workflows will be retired from the Salesforce. So all should be done through the flows only. Be careful. You should be very careful and you should learn the flows. Very much important. Okay. Now here, go ahead and create the approval process for student. Okay. So here, use jumpstart widget, use standard setup widget. The first one is single step approval process. Second one is multi-step approval process. That's it. Use jumpstart widget. Okay. Student approval. Now, what is the condition? When the approval process should be allowed? When the fees is less than 10,000. If it is more than 10,000, we don't need any approval. Student should be automatically activated. Okay. So now let's see. So this is another thing. Approval assignment email template. There is a requirement, right? When you submit a record, send an email to the manager on record submission. Okay. For that, you have to create one email template. Okay. Like create one email template first. A new folder called student. And create. I'm creating text email template only. Student approval. That is for email template name. You can say this requesting for student approval. Okay. I need an approval from you for the below student. Okay. Just give some student information. Student name, first one. Student fee. See? Okay. Save this. Okay. Then we have another requirement. First, you need to create email templates first, right? First, email templates to the manager. Okay. Then change status to approved. This is fine. Send email to the student on approval. What should be done? Okay. Email template. First, create email template. Yes. Approved. Student. It says welcome. Request. Okay. Just time. Then student name is for request. Upload. Not having more metrics, just it is. Then another email template is required for rejection, right? Accepted. Sorry. For request has been rejected. Okay, so we have email templates. First, whenever you receive the request, you have to see what are the email templates you need. One for submitting the ones you have to send for approval. Second, upload actions. Third one, rejected actions. Okay. Now, just go ahead and create the upload process now. So what happens if you don't give the approval email template? Nothing will happen. By default, one email template will be delivered. Okay. By default, one email will be delivered. Use gems.chart. Student. Requesting for approval. Now here. So if fee is less than 10,000, right? Student fee less than 10,000. Condition. This is called as entry criteria. Means whenever whenever you click on submit, then this entry criteria is required. If the entry criteria is there, then only this approval process will be there. Then who will be the approver? Okay, you can let the submitter choose the approver manually. Means whenever you are submitting, you can select the approver manually. Okay. Automatically assign an approver using a standard or custom hierarchy field. There are hierarchy fields. I'll let you know this later. That also you can use assign to queue or assign to some manual users directly. Okay. For now, let me select myself as a user, or let's say you will see that first option. Okay. Save it. Okay. View approval process detail. Now, say this initial submission actions. Okay. Initial submission actions. So as we have seen, send an email to the manager on record submit for approval. So this will be automatically sent because we have given the approval assignment email template. Okay. When you submit, this email will be sent. You don't need that again here. But if someone is asking that send some different email also, then you can go for this one. Create field update to change the student status to under approval, right? For that, what you need is first you need to create the pick list value for this. Do not have that. Right? Please. Status. Right? Okay. So what we need is under approval. Okay. Approved, rejected. Okay. These three values are required because we are going to set under approval, approved, rejected. Those three status values are created now. Now just go ahead and create one field update there. Okay. Here status 2. Now here student status, change specific value to under approval. If you don't have that, then this value will not be displayed here. So you have to create this. Then re-evaluate workflow may not be required. Save this. Okay. Now second one. There are approval steps are there. Step 1 is already there. Means when you submit, the step 1 will be always there. Now what should happen? So here, as there is only one step, okay, approval or reject, only one step is there, right? So when the step is approved, immediately final approval actions will be done. When the final approval actions will be done, last step of the approval process is done, then this final approval actions will be executed. Okay, so here we have only one step. That means that is the first step and that is the last step. Then immediately final approval actions will be executed if it is approved. If it is rejected, final rejection actions will be done. Okay? And there is another thing called recall actions. Okay, so recall actions, I will show you what it is. Okay. Now, so here on final approval step, what should happen when the approval is done? When the approval is done, just have to change status to approve. Okay. Say again. So what should happen on the rejection actions, right? When this is rejected, you have to change the status to rejected. status rejected. Okay, this is done. You might be getting some confusion on this. So in the requirement, we are saying that on initial submission, we have to send an email to the approver, right? But here, so when if you give the approval assignment email template, even if you don't give also, when you submit, the one email will be delivered. That's called initial submission actions and initial submission email. So other than that, if you want to send some email to some other users also, then you can have some email alerts here. Otherwise, it's not required. And on the approval step, you are saying that send email on approval, as there is only one step for approval. So we can mention on the final approval actions and final rejection actions, whatever it is required. Otherwise, it is not required. Okay. Even this is also not required. So this one, final approval actions, final rejection actions. This is also not required here. If you want, you can give. Else, you can directly give on this one, final approval actions and final rejection actions. Okay. So add the field update. There is this. Add existing final approval actions. Field update. Okay. Rejected status. Select. Okay. Even for email alerts, rejected is there, right? Rejected status. Field update rejected. For final rejection actions, we have to create field update that is called status rejected. Oh, I think both we have selected rejected, right? This is rejected. See this to remove. Actions. Status 2. Okay. After that, so what should happen? See that again, email alerts we have to create, right? When this is approved, you have to send email to approved, right? Student. Okay. Email template is required. Approved. Okay. So who will receive? Let me select for, there are some other users, account owner, case team, creator, email field, and others, right? When the student email, we have to send email, right? When student is approved, we have to send email to student email that you are approved. Okay, save this. And if it is rejected, also we have to send an email, student rejected. Select the email template, rejected. Okay. Then whom do we need to send? We need to send an email to the student. And if you want to add your email address also, you can add here up to 5 emails. Okay, so this is done. So then recall action. What is recall action? Means you have submitted one record by mistake. Okay, so the now when you submit it immediately, what happens? The status will be changed to the under approval. Right? Now, what should happen if you recall this? Means you have submitted that one by mistake. Now you need to get it rolled back. For that, you have an action called recall actions. Okay? So that recall action, you can say this field update means I need on recall, change the status to on recall. Just changing change status to, okay, active. Okay, so change status to active. Just fill up it. on field update. Status 2. This is just simple approval process. Status 2. Approve or active. Okay. Now this approval process is done. Okay. So once you have done with this approval process, you can activate this. Okay. So when you activate this, go to any student, there is a button called submit for approval. Okay. So as the total fee is 70,000, okay, even if you submit for approval, it will throw some error. Okay, record does not meet the entry criteria or initial submitters of any active approval concept. Means, so the student fee should be less than 10,000. Then only the approval process can be submitted. Else, it will not be submitted. Giving 7,000. Save it. Now submit for approval. Now, when you submit for approval, we have selected one option while submitting who will be the approver. Okay. So next approver should be selected by the user whenever they are submitting for approval. That's what we have selected option, right? See, it will ask for the user, whom do you want to send an approval? Step 1. Okay. Now here you can see this Salesforce Training, send to next approval. Now you can see the student status under approval, and this is locked. Means other users cannot edit these records until unless that record is unlocked or it is approved or not. Okay. So here if you see this, approval history will be there. Under approval history there are two actions, approve or reject. Okay. Who can approve or reject? So the user who are approver, when you are submitting that one, you have selected one user for approval, right? That user can approve or reject, or system administrator can approve or reject this one. So it is requesting for student, this one for approval. Email alert, you know that our email alerts already. Now what happens if you reject this? Okay, you can approve or reject, reassign as well. Now me approve this one. So an approved, what will happen? Status should be changed to approved and email should be sent to that email address. Okay, this is the email address we have given. Now let's see whether it does save or not. Okay, welcome. Your request has been approved. Okay, so now status. What is the status you have? It is changed. It is changed to approved. Okay, now here still, if even if it is status is changed also, this record is not unlocked. Okay, let's say you can submit for again. Okay, so now if you reject it, see this status is changed to rejected. Okay, so what happens when you recall? Select the user, approver. Now this is approved. Okay, so there will be recall approval request. When you recall comments, just recall it, status change it to active. Okay, this is how you have to build the approval process based on the requirement. Okay, now for each and every time you are selecting the user for editing, right? Now description. Okay, so here you are saying that next approver is determined by, right? So what we can do is, okay, so on the layout of student approval actions, only student name will be displaying there. If you want, you can add some other fields as well. Just be careful. Submitter type. So who will be the initial submitters? Means once the record is created, who can submit the record? Means submit button should be available for whom? That is the question. That's question. You can say this owner of the record, okay, or any other users also you can mention. Okay. Here, if you say this allow submitters to recall the approval request, then it says that users who are requested for approval, they can do the recall also. Now, where is this entry criteria? One recorded it. So only that is gone. This is the problem with standard jump agent. Okay, so here we got this is required. After approval also it is not locked. You can select unlock after the edit. After approval, you can unlock the record for editing. So you can say this. So that's how it works, the approval process. Okay. So any questions on this? Ramesh, just see what time it is left for recording.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we use the recall action, it can show some previous value. It, when
And recall actions.
it show previous values.
Right. So not only recall action, when you say that field update, so there will be some kind of other things like this. The value above the current one means if it is having active, okay. So let's say if it was approved, what will be the above active one means under approval. That will be selected if you select this one. And if you select the second one, the value below the current one means that will be different value. Let's say if it was under approval, then approved will be the next one. So it's option, it is saying this. Specific value means you can mention what value should be selected.
Okay,
Clear?
sir. Okay, sir.
Ramesh, are you there?
Yes, Sandeep. I think 3 more minutes are there.
How long it is there for recording?
For recording, I think it's 40 minutes.
No, no, no. So it might be saying something, it will be ended, right?
Yeah, ending it's in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's see. Let's stop and then rejoin. You can stop recording.